What is good, Battlefielders? This is Cruiser Ranger coming at you from Japan. Today I'm going to break down how and why to play the fucking man. For the record, I don't encourage the total abandonment of teamwork. This video is meant to be viewed in combination with my last one that focused entirely on being helpful and supportive. So what's cool about Battlefield is that it can be played in so many different ways. I typically prefer working as a team, but there's the Call of Duty in me that likes going lone wolf and just murdering people. I've become a big supporter of PTO, yet I don't believe in kamikaze sacrifice in place of skill. I also find merit in breaking off from the pack and playing the sneaky assassin role. I'm in no way encouraging people to make it a habit to ignore their teammates. Rather, there are times that going solo is tactically advantageous to break down the enemy. If I'm playing with friends, then I trust they can handle the situation. Or if I'm playing with randoms, well, you often get stuck with unproductive, unsupportive scrubs, so hey, fair game. Being stuck in front of the base like this is actually a pretty bad move. Lucky for me, everyone has scattered elsewhere, so I can pick off stragglers as they come by. There have been some guys sniping, some staying in buildings and trying to get cheap shots, so I'm simply countering these moves. For each game, you should be visualizing what you want to achieve or do. Are you going to be a marksman, a running gunner, an LMG killing machine, or a jack of all trades? When I enter a map, I usually start thinking, what routes can I take to get behind the enemy undetected? My goal is to wipe out the entire team without them knowing what hit them. Obviously, a silencer is your best friend, and assault rifles provide good power, fire rate, clip size, and versatility. But yeah, use whatever you want. The best perks are either squad sprint to get around quicker, or squad ammo to keep your favorite weapon a bit longer. I'd like to introduce a new phrase I came up with, PTFM, play the fucking man. Just the opposite of PTFO, the idea is to roam the map looking for players to target. It's someone who moves on his own, using stealth and one-on-one skills. In sporting terms, it's the equivalent of a free safety in football, always scanning and anticipating the flow of the game. If you followed me for a bit, you should notice that I keep using the word aggressive. This strategy gives the most rewards, but it's also the most risky. It will allow you to engage the enemy before they can organize and push into your Mcom areas. If you time it wrong, you may be swarmed with enemies and no one to back you up. But if you time it right, you get the benefit of surprise and can get a nice streak going. My next tip is extremely basic but also extremely important for anyone who wants to succeed. Simply put, you have to know the maps. You need to know the main routes and heavy traffic areas. Anticipate the enemy's movement as well as your team's. There's safety in numbers, but there's also more risk of being shelled, naded, bombed, and fired upon. Grouping up leaves huge holes in the maps and let the enemy control the game. And then don't forget to memorize infantry and vehicle spawns for each stage of the game. Back to the concept of being selfish. I realize hardcore PTFOers will have a problem with it. Keeping an open mind though, let's examine a few examples of how these techniques benefit your team. Number 1, it distracts and disrupts the enemy. Average players expect defenders to group up near the Mcoms. Engaging them one-on-one on their turf will throw them off their game. Revenge killers will forget about the objective and continue to come back for more punishment. This also leads to less organization and poorer choices. Number 2, it affects their psyche and morale. People don't like getting killed, especially not by a douche. The more they get killed, the more they become frustrated and emotional. Now that they're enraged and careless, they're that much easier to kill next time. Mind games really do play a huge role in online gaming. Number 3, it bleeds their tickets. This is the most practical and non-debatable area. The defending team can only win by depleting tickets, so the more kills you get, the closer you are to a victory. Just because someone doesn't act in a stereotypical defensive position does not mean they're not helping the team. Enough said. Just as the main ingredient in PTFO is playing the objective aggressively, the same is true for PTFM. Some consider defending the Mcoms the objective, while I hope a few of you can see that players themselves are also the objective due to the ticket system. Therefore, I see a legitimate reason to play for kills under the right circumstances. Let not our hatred blind us to the virtues of PTFM.